Welcome back to Through the Portal. Hello, Ridge.
What's going on, Josh?
We are back for episode 2, and we have a spicy one. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to try to cram in as much as we can into this one episode, but there are some big things happening in the world of Alpha Clash, and we're super excited to share them with you. In today's episode, we're going to break down TCG Player is here. That's just the biggest announcement. Victory.
Yeah.
It's here. It's happening. We are on TCG Player as of technically yesterday. Official launch day is today. We'll talk about that more. We have some new exciting distributors, particularly some in other parts of the world besides the United States. A lot of you have been asking, so we'll talk about that. We're going to be joined by Wade King, our art director, for a short segment to hear from him. We are going to answer some questions, and we're going to spoil some stuff at the end. So stay tuned. But let's just talk about TCG Player, Ridge.
Yeah. Well, for starters, we are, like you said, we're really excited. It's a great day for Alpha Clash. Everyone that's in the trading card game world, whether they play, collect, it's just such a great website and hub marketplace to buy, sell, just get anything that you're looking for. Sealed, singles. Right. You name it, it's got it. And so for us, we knew from the get-go getting onto TCG Player was just a major milestone for us. And we've known about this for quite a while. And so we're excited to finally share it. And I think as of what? Yes, you said yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah. It's live.
Yeah, we've had to push some dates. We've had to, wait a little bit longer than we thought, but it is quite the process. When you really break it down and look at how much goes into listing every single card, and not just every single card, but they break it down on the filters by rarity, by color, by all these different things. So there's a lot of data to input. So it was a big undertaking for us to provide everything for TCG Player to get it all listed, and so we're just glad we're at the finish line. And for those that don't know, I've actually talked to some people in the card world that don't know what TCG Player is, but it is the biggest marketplace for buying and selling cards. There are more sales of single cards than on eBay, and it is a eBay-owned company now. That acquisition happened a couple years ago. I don't remember when that was.
So, yeah.
But it is for any card game. It's really important because it really is kind of the marketplace where you can check value of cards. Like, you can always check eBay sold. There's lots of other websites out there, but when you're buying and selling singles of a card, most card players and some collectors, but especially the players, are checking TCG Player for kind of that market, where that card is on the market. So that's huge. But then it's also something, right, Ridge, that stores want to know about. Stores want to know that we're on TCG Player, and for a long time we've had to tell them, no, not yet. And it is helpful for stores because when stores want to carry Alpha Clash, they know that they also have another way to sell our product. So that's another big reason why it's really important for us, not just for the community and the buyers and sellers, like individuals, but also for the stores and those bigger companies that we are wanting to partner with. We are wanting to have them stock Alpha Clash, but having not being on TCG Player was a hurdle that they weren't ready to take that step. And so now hopefully this news is really going to encourage even more stores to carry Alpha Clash.
Yeah, it's for 2024. It's a fun start because TCG Player hits. We get the book into people's hands, fulfilling the Kickstarter. We've got the draft box releasing. Set 3, we've been told by people, I'll buy your product at set 3. Get to set 3 and I'll check it out. Well, with TCG Player and set 3 and Level Up with Organized Play and all these other things, it is the perfect time to get into Alpha Clash. If you haven't jumped in yet, I don't know how else to tell you to do it. The fact that we were able to run a Kickstarter and within one full year having, almost 3 sets, a book, a comic, all these things on board game in production, we have moved past that kind of, iffy phase. I feel like we've proven ourselves to say we have what we feel is a very quality product, and I think the fans would all agree, and high-level gameplay. And we are here to stay and make some noise in the TCG world. And just excited to see.
Right. We talked about that a little bit in the first episode, the kind of connotation that comes with a new TCG on Kickstarter, and we're trying to prove that wrong, prove that we're not a flash in the pan. And I think steps like this are good indicators of that. You know, we already did our eBay promo. We have the stamp of approval, literally stamp from eBay, and now TCG Player. And these things are just going to help us really open more doors and make bigger splash this year. I do agree. 2024 is going to be a big year. Ridge, what let's officially make the announcement for some of the new distributors.
Yes, so we're excited because we have had questions from these regions about access to product. So first, Canada. We have locked in and partnered with Universal Distribution. So moving forward, you can now, if you're in Canada, you can order through Universal. Second, Europe. This has been a big topic for a while. I mean, I think even this morning, someone was like, I can't get product in Europe, please. But Blackfire, we are locked in with Blackfire, one of the biggest, best distributors in Europe. And that's live as of yesterday as well. I can say we are also talking to other distributors around the world. Nothing to announce yet, but I'm excited to share that once I can. And so wherever you are, you know, our goal is to keep it, you know, expanding our footprint for Alpha Clash, having available product everywhere with trusted sources. And so with Universal and Blackfire, great partners, good track record.
We're excited.
Yep, it's going to be awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, we're very pumped on that. And then just kind of quick updates, just a little bit of the like shopkeeping, whatever, on updates on products. Soon, we you know, what are we waiting for the Kickstarter? Let's talk about that. We have almost everything ready to ship out for the book Kickstarter.
Yes, we have almost everything except the books. The books should be here within the next week and a half. The biggest thing is just sometimes it sits in customs, you know, because it's coming from overseas, and so we just have to wait for that process to play out. But then the playmats, deck boxes, sleeves, and binders all come from the same manufacturer. And we are hoping that we get those by the end of February. We will keep everyone up to date, but we have everything else. I even have the stretch goal packs ready to go. I've been doing a lot of the legwork and prep work just to fulfill the Kickstarter, so that as soon as all the product gets in, it's a pretty streamlined process. So, you know, you're going to see the Kylie family army, you know, gather around. We're going to bust this Kickstarter out as fast as we can.
Yeah, we can make some of these big announcements about how well everything's going, but we are still a small business, folks. Ridge, the CEO of this company, is going to be fulfilling this Kickstarter out of his garage by himself, well, with his family's help. But yeah, that's still how we're doing things. We're still bootstrapping things. Yeah, it's freezing out there, I'm sure. But
we got the space heaters. We got it all. It's gonna be good. But you know, we fulfilled the first Kickstarter. We did that within only a handful of days. The book Kickstarter is bigger, and I've having fulfilled now a couple of Kickstarters, got have our feet wet, understand like just streamlining certain processes. And so we feel like we should be able to bust this out. You know, getting the product in hand is the first step, but we'll be able to, you know, get that done, you know, very quickly relative to the size of our army.
Yeah, and I think we'll talk with Wade a little bit more about the draft box, but that is we're in the 1 month countdown to the release of the draft box. We'll show you a little bit more about that in a second. And actually, should we just cut to our conversation with Wade?
Let's do it.
Wade, thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me.
Of course. We want the community to hear from you. I think we have maybe not really a spoiler, but more of a kind of announcement or reminder of a big card that you did for the draft box. But I think first we just want to hear more about your story. You know, you are art director. We want to hear how you got into the world of comic art, all of that. So like take us back to like young Wade, getting into art, getting into comics, all of that. Just tell us your quick story.
Clearly summarize it down real quick. I've been into like, you know, the comic scene forever, but I think it's the same cliche answer everybody gets, you know, like it's on and off with art my whole life. Loved comics. Loved, I got really. I was more into like manga side of things. Was when I first got into things that I got up growing up, and then got really into the Todd McFarlane run on like Carnage and Venom and things like that. And like I think the late 90s was probably like 6 or 7 whenever I first got one. But that led into video games, led into other stuff, and like that nerd culture and stuff, and just really loving it. And now with like, it's been nearly 20 years of superhero movies between DC and Marvel now. So it's just been this awesome kind of like rocket propelled like industry. And so I've been been doing it professionally now full time for around 5 years, I want to say, give or take. And then been doing it off and on for like 10 years or something like that. But yeah, got into doing conventions and then got on with some other big projects, made some friends. We made some kind of some really great art groups and we've done some really fun stuff. And now we're kind of in this awesome trading card world that we're, I'm learning all about it and drawing all these like epic superheroes for. And it's really cool having like just a real, like the freedom to kind of build this universe up and stuff like that with you guys. And yeah, so comics has been awesome. And then now doing trading cards, it's something I've loved my whole life. So yeah, it's kind of like a good little snapshot of everything, like in a real quick time frame.
That's great. And then, yeah, you oversee all of our artists, but then you're also the actual artist doing some of our cards. So what have been some of your favorite cards that you yourself have done for Alpha Clash?
Yeah, so yeah, I am the, I guess that's a good place to start too. Is like, yeah, I do the art direction for all of basically anything involving the art that you're going to see in Alpha Clash in all of the different avenues that we're working in that you guys will eventually get to see. Spoiler-ish alert. Just keep a lookout. We got a lot of stuff coming. But,
yeah, Wade's busy. We keep him busy with board game, comic, TCG. What else am I forgetting?
Super excited for you guys to see stuff in the future that we've got coming out now. And a lot of the people that I've gotten to work on the set too have been really great to work with. Myself as an artist on the set, I've really enjoyed some stuff. I've designed some of the characters too. I've designed Lady Death or Death. I'm sorry, Lady Death's a different character. I've designed Death, and and helped with a couple of the other ones too and stuff like that. So as far as like favorites and stuff, man, there's a lot of fun pieces we've done. Some of the let me preface what I'm about to say. There's stuff that I can't talk about that I think is really cool that I've done. That'll eventually people will get to see that I'm really excited about. But from the previous sets, I'm really excited. There's some ones that are actually some of the Team Covenant promos. I'm a real big fan of. In fact, since we're kind of on that topic of like my favorite ones, like this is actually one of my favorite pieces I've done, and it actually is one of the things that we're talking about today. And this is the artwork for the Team Covenant promo for the draft box. So this is the actual inked piece before I put it into the computer and then did all the stuff on the computer. So you can kind of see it's a lot bigger than the cards. So,
right.
But yeah.
Wade has basically been the death person. Most of the death cards have been Wade, and
I think
your favorite. So you have Wade to thank for those cards.
Yeah, I think I forgot the name of this. I think it's Death Stalking Spectre, I want to say. Yeah, for the new one. So yeah, that one's probably my favorite so far. And then there's a couple other ones I'm really excited about, but I can't talk about until we, start seeing some more set 3 stuff.
Yeah, I was to do spoiler season for that.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, people, how do you get the Stalking Spectre, Team Covenant, alternate art, super exclusive to the draft box through Covenant's subscription? You have to pre-order it on their site. Before pre-orders close. Draftbox releases in 1 month. We're filming this on February 15th. It releases March 15th, and the only way that you can get that card is with each Draftbox that you get, then you get 1 card. And I do have a Draftbox in hand. They're in the background too, but they look so good. Just awesome.
I don't have one, but imagine that I did.
Yeah, they turned out really well. We're really excited about that product. Alternate arts, the Covenant promo, the playability. There's so much just awesomeness with this box. And so we're excited for March 15th.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be awesome. And then make sure you guys seriously get those promos. Like the first set's promos we did are really, really going crazy online in the second area. I recommend grabbing them. Trust me.
So a fun fact about the first Covenant promo, I have 1 copy myself.
what happened was I got the promo sent to me, and taped to the outside was a Torque promo just to say, hey, this is the box. And so what I did is I was like, oh, this is really cool. I cut off the tape and cut it all around and then peeled off the tape from the front. And so it's quite the collector's item. But that is like my trophy of that. I figured, I don't know if that would be included in any of the subscriptions. So I took it upon myself to, take that. So that's my one copy, and it's awesome. It's sticky, and you can like hold it just on your hand, But I do love that card and that art that Wade did for the first Torque the Uncontrollable, which is a super playable card. But it's just a really good looking card too. So that's my fun little story about the first Covenant promo.
Love it. Cool. Well, without any spoils, Wade, what can people look forward to for set 3? How have we leveled up? Get them excited.
Spoiler type stuff. Oh man. I can tell you guys right now, we are set 2. We took over, I took over as art director, and we were kind of trying to find get our legs underneath us, so to speak. So I think that a lot of set 2, there was a lot of us trying to gain traction with that. And then with set 3, I think you really start to see us like kind of nailing our like the cadence in which we were getting things done and just working together as a team. We got a few new artists on there as well too, and kind of like are really nailing down the set style. I think that a lot of the action sequences are better, like a lot of the quality is better. We're getting better in terms of, on the other side of things, logistically, the cards themselves and the foiling process and working together with that team too, and kind of getting things hammered out. So as from that standpoint, as a collector and a fan of the cards in general, I think that they're going to be way more elevated, I guess is a good word. Like, I'm really excited to see them coming out and physically hold them in hand. You can see the quality's really getting there. And I know that, obviously we're kind of like biased, but at the same time too, looking next to other cards, I really feel like that we're stepping up the quality on these things a lot. And you kind of see that within not only the art and the quality, but like the, just everything as an overall package. So I think that, set 3 is going to be awesome. We've got some really ambitious things that we tried to bite off in set 3. And so I don't know how much we've spoiled of the things that are in set 3, but let's just say there's a really, really, really big, very, very collectible thing coming in set 3 that's kind of a little ambitious that we did, but I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Don't expect that too often, but we love to kind of throw in those like unique, fun things for you guys, like per set. So we're trying to keep things alive and make that collectibility there.
That has been spoiled. That has been spoiled. That was in the announcement for set 3.
Yeah, so we have said that there is a 16 card collage. Yeah. We haven't seen it. We don't know what it is. Yeah, and knowing me, I'll probably spoil it and not tell people, and then they'll have to figure out the puzzle.
16. Think of that, guys, like in terms of like 16 card collage piece that we've done. And then for a new company too, this is like what, set 3. We're like, let's do a 16 piece collage. I think Magic just did one, and it took them 30 years to get there. So hopefully you guys appreciate it, enjoy it, and really like the quality. It was really tough to pull off, if that makes sense. It was definitely a first time for a lot of us, and then to kind of get it all to work together. I'm really excited for you guys to get it in hand. It was oh man, there's so many. I could spend like an hour talking about like the logistics on how hard that was to pull off from every standpoint, from the art side to like the putting it together side to the. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing some people try to put a giant slab on their wall. It's like it'll be really cool to see. So,
sweet. Yeah. Well, thank you, Wade. We appreciate you and the team. Thanks for hopping on through the portal, and I'm sure we'll have you back soon. Maybe we'll have you back on when it's time to spoil some set 3 cards for sure.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah, we definitely could do that, guys. So Thank you guys for having me, and looking forward to everybody kind of getting to see the cards. So
sounds good. Thanks, Wade.
Yeah, thanks.
And then just real quick summary, Draft Box it's 32 packs of 15 cards, a lot of cards. You get the sealed deck. Actually, should I just open this up, Rich?
Let's see it.
Let's do our first opening here on Through the Portal, and I'll just show everybody.
Yeah, Josh got his boxes before I did, and so he got to open it first, and he got to experience that, and then I just finally did Yesterday's. All right, so when you open it, you're going to get the sheet, tells you how to draft.
Instructions about deck construction. You have all of the packs. They look like this. Very nice. You have your sealed contenders, and this is, I believe this is 8 of the same contender.
Yep.
So every box is different.
Yep. So if you want the different contenders, you need to get different draft boxes that have the different contenders. And there's 8 because the draft pod, it's set up to support 8. You can go smaller, but it can support 8 players.
Right. And then, Ridge, what is in this brick that comes in every box too? In
the brick, you get 8 of each contender. That's within the draft formats. That's 10 contenders, 5 from set 1, 5 from set 2. You also get 8 tokens, so at least everyone gets 1 token. You have 32 total clash buffs. Now what's unique to the draft box is we made a draft box exclusive clash buff. So depending on which contender you choose, gives you a different clash buff effect. And so that costs 1, has a different effect for everyone, and it has no specific resource cost. And then everyone gets 4 copies of that.
Just cracked a pack. Look at that. We got the graphic novel art on these cards. Looks so good.
Yeah, the comic art does look pretty cool. What's really fun is seeing the old stuff on the cards, and then now seeing the new comic come to life gives me some really, like exciting feelings, whatever, of future cards that we can pull from the comic that's being worked on too. So we'll be able to leverage a lot of that stuff, and it's gonna be fun.
For sure. That's actually a good segue. What's the update on the comic? And one of the things we will show you at the end. Can we show a whole page?
We'll show a whole page. It's not lettered yet because our process is we give our letterer batches instead of just kind of feeding one at a time. And so the letterer will get started at the end of this month because he'll get a large batch of pages. But the quick update there is that hopefully we can run the comic book Kickstarter in March. That's the plan. The only thing that would push that back would be if the books and stuff arrive late, because we have to fulfill that first before we start the comic campaign. However, we're still on track for everything. And several pages of the comic book up to this point are, getting finished. It looks really cool. The story is funny. There's a lot of action. You're going to see fan favorites. Yeah, and you need to read this comic and the first book and the second book to understand what's fully happening in terms of timeline. I can say that.
Wow, there you have it. Cool. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. We have some questions from the Discord, Ridge. We have a channel in the Discord just for podcast Q&A. So drop your questions for next episode if you have any questions for Ridge and I. First up, it is asking about the judge program. Is there a judge program coming? Will you keep track of judges available in their region? And will there be a reward program for the judges?
Yeah, judge program is coming. We are working on it right now. Hopefully / should be done by the end of February. And for sure will be done before the first Clash Ground event. So be on the lookout for that. And we've got judge promos, which haven't been revealed yet, for Clash Ground.
They look good, though.
For the Clash Ground event really in Vegas and in Manila. So, right. each party will get their price cards and the judge cards.
Cool. And then, yeah, the next comment was, will there be judges at Level Up Expo? Yes, that will be their first time judging.
Yep.
That'll be the first time they're in action. All right, next question's a little different. Confirm or confirm? Paul is the invisible hand guiding everything in the story.
Oh, man.
To be clear, you only have one option.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really deep cut fan theory. I'll say that. What I can say is Paul is such a good character. When I read the book, I literally laugh out loud when Paul talks. Yeah. Anytime Paul's involved, it is a riot. So hopefully everyone enjoys Paul, and be on the lookout for more Paul.
There we go. There's your non-confirming confirming answer. All right. We're going all over the place on the spectrum of these questions. Can you talk about what makes a good contender? Is it the lore, powers, mechanics?
Yeah, that's a good question, and probably differs depending on who you talk to. You know, if you're talking to a highly competitive player, a casual player, a collector. For me, when we build contenders, we obviously pull from the story. And then whenever we pull from the story, that contender has to have the flavor in which they are in the story. Mean Streak has streaks. Magnate is naturally a little more powerful and aggressive. Moxie uses weapons. Conquest is all about, attacking clash cards and victories. And so each contender has a flavor to it. The artwork, too, has to match that in a really a flavorful way. And whenever we name cards, too, like the name has to match the art. And so not only naming is important because it represents the character, but then the artist has to take the name and, put that onto the contender. And then I would say, yeah, it's a subjective question, but there's so many things that go into that. Like when I have a contender, I want them to look really cool and powerful, So Conquest, like, he naturally just looks so awesome and intimidating. And so having a Conquest, deck is super fun from that regard.
Got it. So it's kind of a combination of a lot of things. Next up, we have a couple kind of back-to-back questions, but the general idea is they want to see an Alpha Clash video game or digital card game. I know you have a very long answer ready for this.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot that this question existed. I could go in a lot of different ways, so I'll try to keep it contained, especially because the episodes aren't hour-long episodes. Video games. Do I want Alpha Clash to become a video game or video games? The answer is yes. I absolutely would. Growing up, gaming, tabletop gaming, and video games were just a huge part of my upbringing. Even as a college athlete, like, my downtime was gaming. And so if we could do that in a digital card game, absolutely. I love the idea of that. It's definitely not on the near future because, one, it takes a lot of time. It's quite a heavy investment in terms of resources and efforts. And so if we're going to execute something like that, it will be planned very well. But it's not happening anytime in 2024 for sure. In terms of a larger video game outside of the mobile aspect, the very first concept of Alpha Clash was, kind of like a video. It was really like a superhero version of Fortnite, and that's what drove my whole idea. From there, I was like, okay, well, if I made a story and I made this, and within, a couple of weeks, it was like, hey, this needs to be a game because I can turn this into a game and it's going to work. But I would love to have like a good dungeon crawler, a battle royale, something like that, man. If we were able to do that, I already know exactly what it would look like. You don't even have to pitch that to me. I could storyboard it today, just here's the characters, here's their abilities, here's their talent trees, here's what's going to happen, and I would feel pretty ready to take that on. But yeah, the goal of Rising Empire Studios is to continue to create new games and stories in different avenues. And so if we go down the video game sector, I would absolutely love to do that. I know other people in this on this team would. Obviously, Alpha Clash TCG is our flagship product and we're focusing on that. But as we have more success with that, we can really lean into these other projects, grow the game and the infrastructure, and see where things can go.
Right. And I think yes, the trading card game is our flagship product, and we do take on a lot of other things, board game, comic book, but we don't do anything at bad half or any kind of not great quality. Like, so we don't, we're not going to do anything. We want to do a video game, we want to do animation, but we're not going to do either of those things until we have the full budget to make it something truly incredible. I think would probably be the final answer on that. Is like, yes, we want both of those things, but we have to be patient and wait till we can do it to exactly what we would want and be proud of, and what you guys would truly enjoy. All right, the last couple questions are kind of tied into each other, people talking about merchandise. So anything beyond the cards. So t-shirts and hats, but also cards, card stands, sleeves, etc., boxes.
Yeah, if we can find our groove in 2024 to do that, to understand our demand for those things and have a very just clean way to execute that, that's what it's on the to-do list. That's why we've used Kickstarter to kind of gauge demand. You know, how many shirts and hats and these types of things are we getting in these orders, so that we can have a better understanding of the demand. But it certainly, I mean, we have talked about this as a team about, you know, just having merchandise, and we've taken them to conventions in 2023, and, you know, whatever's left over in 2024, we will. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to do that.
Yeah, it's a numbers game of getting the pre-orders and figuring out what the demand is, and that's why we've been able to do it through Kickstarter. And that's a good way to do it. I think it's something we probably will make happen this year, probably towards the end of the year, is get a store functioning on our website to where we are able to sell the non-card products on our website. So it's definitely top of mind for us. We want to make it happen. And then the collector and me, I've talked with Ridge about this. I want, for like merchandise in particular, and playmats, I think too. It's like we want to do like limited runs. So it's like we don't care how popular it is. We're gonna design a T-shirt, and we're gonna order X amount, and when it's done, it's done. And those are gonna be, you know, limited runs of shirts, limited runs for playmats, etc. Because we do think that would be also something cool to do with these things, is to make them limited. We are all collectors, you know. We want these things to feel special, and that's probably how we'll do it. So yeah, keep an eye out. We'll keep in touch, and you know, probably do some sort of release schedule once we get that all figured out.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. Well, that's all the questions. Drop off those questions on Twitter, Instagram, but also there in the Discord as well. Ridge, what else do we have? Do we have anything else before we get to some showing off some stuff?
It's probably better that we stay on script, you know, or I should say the plan, because I could talk about so many different things for a while. It's you know, it's good that this is in a bubble of, you know, pre-recorded instead of live, because it would probably just go on forever.
Yep. Cool. Well, let's we already talked about the comic book page, so let's show that. There it is. Isn't it beautiful? Super cool. I loved our first graphic novel, but the comic art for this is very much next level.
Yes.
Kyle is killing it.
Kyle is doing so good, and yes, it's going to be a really fun re-entry into the comic space, because that was our first project. We took a break, and now we're gonna, you know, revamp it. And, you know, just like Josh mentioned before, we always make sure that when we're gonna do something, we're taking the precautions, the steps, all those types of things to do it right. And man, I feel like we are doing this one right.
Yep. We have some more board game pieces to show. We showed a few on the first episode. Here's some more.
Oh, wait. It's happening. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yep. And we also showed the almost finished board game art, and I think we can show the final. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Gamma Expo. I don't know. If it pops up over my face, I guess I can't stop it.
They've watched for 30 minutes. They deserve it.
All right.
And then, is there anything else? Do we have anything else to spoil? Do you have those mats in person for people to see, Paige?
Oh, I do actually. Yes, they're right here. I forgot we were going to talk about
you might have seen them on the Realm site. These are the Level Up winner mats, or top 8 for both competitions?
Yeah, top 8, pre-release, and constructed. So, yep, this is top 8. I believe this is the constructed version. If I'm wrong, please don't beat me up too bad. And then I believe this is the pre-release version.
Yeah, love it.
So
those both look so good.
If you've read the book,
and
you understand, you know, that one for sure.
Yep. And all of the those, and then also all of the gosh, what am I blanking on what they're called? The prizing cards are all using set 3 art. So once we're able to spoil some of that art, we will show you the participant, the top players, and the winner cards for that, which I'm very excited to show off. I'm sure in conjunction with Realm, we will spoil that here on through the portal first.
Yep.
Cool. I think that's it. I think we did it. Episode 2 in the books.
Done.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet for more updates. We're going to try to do this series at least once a month, if not 2. We're going to try to, let some of the announcements roll together until we have a big one to talk about. But we appreciate all of you. Lots of exciting things happening for Alpha Clash. And stay tuned for more updates.
Thank you.